playoff game by two teams over the course of a season. So the kick, 5-pass, it's underway, and it's going to be returned from about the 3-yard line. It's Mitchell, and banging bodies at the 28-yard line with the likes of Cole Bishop. So we'll bring out Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens, the first player in NFL history with 40 more touchdowns and just so few interceptions, less than 5. No one's ever had numbers with that kind of ratio going past 40 touchdowns. Question is, do they have answers on defense? They ran roughshod over the Bills in that early matchup. They were without 3 starters in that game on defense. We'll see. They come out with Ricard as fullback, and Henry gets the call and is held to 1. Russo on him quickly.
Well, here we go. This first drive, really the first 2 drives, is going to be very telling. Baltimore took it to Buffalo in week 4, and they really looked like they were a man amongst boys, and everyone this entire week has been talking about how small Buffalo is and how big and powerful Baltimore has become, and they've been doing it to everybody. You saw I formation on the first one. Buffalo says we can stop the run when we want to, and we're going to do it this week.
2nd and 9, and again it's Henry, and again they're able to contain him for a yard. Let's talk about Bobby Babbich's defense, and this defense again that saw Henry rush for 199 in that first matchup, most ever against a McDermott team.
Well, he did, but the adjustments you're going to see today, they're going to set the edge. I think they gave up too much space. They didn't close the space, Jim. And what I mean by that, you're going to have your secondary guys laid on the line. This is a sacrifice game for this Buffalo defense. They've got to sacrifice their body, and they got to mentally be able to do it to take a 250-pound back and hit him over and over again in the cold.
Justice Hill comes in. He was a big factor in that first matchup in the passing game. Staying in the block here as Lamar has time, dances around and escapes. Here he goes. Taron Johnson at an angle, but it's too late. Lamar has the first down.
Outstanding job by Lamar Jackson, and this is going to be the key to the game. What we're going to do is crash the entire D-line over here, and Milano's going to be standing there waiting for him to go to his right. It's a designed spy. And right there you see Lamar, he just overcomes spy after spy and defensive techniques.
He just went over 1,000 yards rushing on the season, regular and post. That becomes now the first team in history to have a 2,000 and 1,000-yard rusher. And now, on first down, flings it, open receiver, and it's dropped. It was Henry wide open. The pass was a little short of him.
This is the plays that you're going to look back at the end if you lose. This is a throw, just softly throws it out there, but that ball is as slick as they have played with all year, I promise you. Now, Henry is not known for being a receiving back that much, only 19 receptions on the season, but those are huge plays.
Well, Lamar's mad at himself for not quite getting that pass all the way there, so it's a 2nd and 10. Got that Statue of Liberty pause and then throws downfield, and look at Likely down to the 22-yard line. 40 yards on the pass play to Isaiah Likely.
Lamar's going to run a simple motion and play fake right here. At this point, you see how they're concerned with him? That's what allows Likely because of his legs, and that is why this Baltimore offense is historic in so many different ways. You have to stop everything. And Likely has really come on lately.
1st and 10 at the 23. To Henry. Medical line. Surges ahead for about 2 more. First into the arms of Austin Johnson. His first 3 carries have totaled 4 yards.
Well, this is where you come up with a different plan, but it's your will and desire. And the defensive line, the front 7, and really the back end is going to have to commit to taking on this as a whole unit. And right there you see, this is a good sign for Buffalo. I know they've given up yards, and they're already inside the 25-yard line. But if you're a Bills fan, you've shown Baltimore right now that we are very different than the team you played in week 4.
Got to watch out for the Ravens tight ends. Very productive. They had a combined 18 touchdowns in the receiving game this year, the tight ends. As a 2nd and 8 pass attempt goes to one of the tight ends. That's likely, who just had the 40-yarder, and Hamlin comes up to help out Johnson on the tackle. It'll bring up 3rd and about 5.
Yeah, and he's been a matchup nightmare because we have to allocate so many resources to stopping the run, and guess what? These tight ends, everyone knows about Mark Andrews, but putting them both out on the field, they're like wide receivers and tight ends at the same time.
Call it 3rd and 3 from the gun. Lamar, first option closed down. Now he goes to the end zone, wide open, and a Ravens touchdown right off the bat with Bateman. Four minutes and 20 seconds into the game from 16 yards out. Jackson to Bateman.
Well, you'll see he's looking there, and right there at the top of the screen, he does a great job of moving people with his eyes. If you're going to play zone and give him that time, he's going to dice you up.
Tucker, extra point, good. So Lamar converts on 2 third downs on that drive. 1 rushing and then 1 passing that goes for the score. Buffalo defers at the top. Ravens say, we'll take the football, we'll go the distance. 73-yard drive and a quick touchdown on the board. And then didn't score again after that in a 31-7 victory by the Bills.
I got a feeling the Ravens made this score today, but they just made it a little tougher.
That don't go into the Romo Stradamo's great prediction category.
Yes.
Johnson takes the knee, and here we go with Josh Allen and the Bills. He felt like in that game at Baltimore early in the season, he said there was some early slowness. We've got to get off to a better start, and he takes the field down 7.
Well, yeah, you learn from the past, but you don't live in it, right? And they've adjusted. You could tell already with some of their sets on defense, they're prepared for this. And to me, this is why you play all those big games and you have a chance to get this home field advantage. That will help them with their motions, Jim, and the communication.
Cook, the running back, who had a season-high rushing total last week. Allen with all kinds of time, and he had an open man. He missed him. It was Hollins between 2 Baltimore defenders.
And you could tell Joe Brady comes right out, tries to run a wheel. Hollins goes to the flat and then turns up field, and I really feel it's a long week for him, right?
Joe Brady's been doing, just like Todd Monken has too. They've been doing interviews with coaching vacancies. He's been talking to the Saints, the Bears, and the Jags. Monken talked with the Bears and the Jags.
But look at what he's done this year.
That's both of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is as well balanced as 2 teams as there is, both two-dimensional.
2nd and 10. It's Cook, who had 120 on the ground last week, and he's swallowed up after a gain of 2 by Matabike.
That'll be one of the keys to this game, is which team stays in phase. Both teams are coming out to shut the run down. I do think, even though Baltimore is #1 in the league against the run, I think Buffalo can slowly wear them down. But 3rd down will be the key early in the game. 1st down really will be another key throughout the game. Who can win 1st down and stay in phase?
The 3rd and 8. Ty Johnson split way wide of his quarterback. He was productive last week. Big presence on 3rd down. Allen, deep ball, open, caught. Shakir with the catch at the Ravens' 34-yard line. He got behind the secondary for 34 yards.
Josh Allen's going to see 2 safeties, and right here he stops, and Shakir's on the middle backer, and boom, he takes a little shove by Pierce, but that is why he's an MVP candidate this year.
Boy, they hurry to the line and hand it off to Ty Johnson, and he rips off a quick 8 or 9.
Smart right here. Once you get a big play, you get right on the ball, and this is why I say I do believe Buffalo can run the ball against this Baltimore team. Baltimore's offense is so dynamic that everyone has to play from behind usually, right? Well, if you can keep this a game and stay two-dimensional, I think you got a chance.
Bills rushed last week for 210 on the Broncos. 2nd and 2. After the big 3rd and 8 conversion. Now operating deep in Ravens territory with Cook. Looking for a seam, it's not there. That right side plugged up, maybe give him a yard. Again, a 3rd and short coming up.
Well, this is why you give the Ravens the advantage in this game. It usually comes down to the offense and defensive line and who's going to control the line of scrimmage. And this team controls the line of scrimmage as well as anybody, really, on both sides of the ball. But Kyle Hamilton here, that was the biggest change this year. They gave up by far the most explosive plays in the secondary through the first 8 to 10 weeks, and they switched him, played him back at safety position, made some other adjustments, and now they've been dominant since week 10.
3rd and short. Allen keeps it, and wise to it the entire time is the Ravens defense. Robinson able to stop him, and you just know the way Buffalo does this. They're going to stay on the field right here. It's going to be 4th and 2. They lost a yard on this.
I want you to watch. This is called a surf technique. You don't run right down the line or go up. You go right there and you wait, and then you make your decision. And Robinson, outstanding technique. John Harbaugh knows how to teach it. They're as good as anyone. Huge play here.
So going for it, 4th and 2 as expected. And they go 5 wide and empty.
You know we always got to watch Josh's legs in key situations.
Here you go, Tony. Keeps it. He's got it. And he rips it down to about the 19-yard line, running behind Dion Dawkins. Got 7.
Nobody does more tackle pulls than Aaron Cromer in this Bills offense. And you see right there, Dawkins knocked the guy out of the game last week on one of those pulls. And you see the Bills just sticking with what they know well, and they're going to stick with Josh Allen having the ball on huge 4th downs.
McDermott's gamble pays off. Cook back deep, takes the handle, cuts outside, able to get away from Humphrey and pick up 9 down to about the 10-yard line.
And that's where the field can't quite explode. This is a great job by Cook. One gap back, foot in the ground, and keep going. And Humphrey, who's moved into the inside slot cornerback position, has helped. As you see a little hair, get over here. No, my hair's not that long. I'm really impressed with Cook. I mean, he's really made me feel like Buffalo can win the Super Bowl because they're a 2-dimensional team now, Jim.
17 rush touchdowns for him on the season, regular and post. 2nd and 2. Calling him one more time. Got the 1st down. He's down to the 5. 1st and goal to go. These two teams in the red zone, 1 and 2. Ravens 1, Bills 2 in touchdown conversions inside the red zone. Wasn't the case really last week all that much for Buffalo.
No, you're right. But I doubt they're going to get stopped 2-3 weeks in a row. But you talked about Cook, how many touchdowns he's had. That takes so much of it off of Josh Allen's plate. And to be able just to hand the ball off, just like Lamar. And then you have to account for the quarterback's legs. It's really difficult on opposing teams. This is a good start for both teams so far.
1st and goal. 5 yards away. They go to the ground. It's Cook. He's a yard out.
Okay, this is it. It's over. It's a touchdown. I was telling you before the game. They handed it off back-to-back times to Cook 3 times, and all of a sudden I think it's a touchdown. Against most teams, Baltimore's going to stop you with that front, right? #1 rush defense in the league. But Buffalo ain't getting stopped if they quarterback sneak it 2 or 3 times in a row. They're like the tush push, but with Josh Allen.
You were talking about how essential it is to have that with your quarterback these days. And Allen, who rushed for 12 touchdowns during the regular season, has a 2nd and goal. Going to hand it off. Hand it off, and walking in for the touchdown is Ray Davis, the rookie.
What a block by Shakir right here. He's going to get down, do the dirty work. He blocks the great Kyle Hamilton, and both these offenses showing you why their quarterbacks are MVP candidates, but also why they're great play calling offensive coordinators.
Pass to tie the game. Opening drive, touchdowns by each side. The Bills 36 yards on the ground, including the final yard by Ray Davis. And it's 7-7. What a start. Sims back deep along with Mitchell. Davis scored the touchdown. He was concussed in the game last week, but went through the protocol this week and was cleared. Comes in and scores. And it's going to be Mitchell returning it once again. 25, and again hammered at about the 28. Reggie Gilliam, as well as Dorian Williams.
Wow, I can tell you right now, you can hear that from up here, Jim, and Buffalo has been told all week they're too small. They're not big enough. Baltimore can put 1,000 pounds and more on the field at any time, and Buffalo's not that kind of size, but right now they're saying we can hit.
Well, their coordinator, Bobby Babbage, said, we've heard all the doubters. We've heard them all.
So has Lamar through his career.
Henry on first down. Taken down behind the line by DeMar Hamlin. Had Oliver in there too. By the way, on Thursday, February 6th, the Stars will be out in New Orleans to kick off Super Bowl 59 weekend. Find out who will take home the game's most prestigious awards with host Snoop Dogg. Don't miss NFL Honors on Fox and NFL Network.
Lamar's just learning right now. In the future, he could have kept that ball, Jim, and that could have been an explosive. You got to watch it if you're Buffalo.
2nd and 11. Looking to pass all the way, and down the field he goes, and it's intercepted right into the hands of Taylor Rapp.
Guess who's back? He's been out a long time, and he's been getting healthier. Rapp with a huge interception. You wonder why he throws it to him? Matt Milano right through the...
Coming off the bench. Week 1. So coming off the Rapp interception. Here's Allen. Got his tight end open across the middle. It's Dalton Kincaid. Let's go back to the interception that set him up here.
This is what happens. You get a back, and guess what? Milano wasn't there in week 4. So he's going to go ahead and rush right through the B gap, and his ability to swim move. This is what happens when quarterbacks throw interceptions. Only 4 all year for Lamar, but he couldn't wait to see the angle on the corner route. He had to throw it early, and that's the Milano effect right there.
Just his 3rd pick thrown in his last 13 games. You're right, they were without Milano, Taron Johnson in that game. Terrell Bernard and Rapp went out in the first half of that game with a concussion. And now Cook brought down again quickly by Robinson, who's made 2 nice tackles behind the line of scrimmage. Tracy, down to you.
Jim, the rhetoric surrounding Lamar Jackson in these playoffs are these type of mistakes, and he talked to us about how he's grown, how he can't get frustrated after a mistake like that. But I can tell you, watching him down on the sideline, he's walking up and down. He's telling everyone, my bad, trying to correct it. We'll see if he could just put this out of his head and move on.
Yeah, he's talked about having been in the postseason in the past too antsy, too excited. And he talked to his coach last night and said he has no concern. He's poised, he's calm, but he does have an early interception. 2nd and 12. Sidearm throw. Samuel down to the 38, setting up 3rd and 3. Samuel had the longest reception of his career last week. And we got a holding call coming up here. Holding call against Buffalo.
I think they're going to catch the left tackle. Dawkins possibly, we'll see right here. Oh, that is not a hold at all, Jim. He just swipes his hands down, a little trap technique, which is like when you try and put your hands on it, you swipe them down, and that's a terrible call.
He's looking over the official, said, I didn't do anything wrong.
He actually perfected the art of what we're teaching.
Instead of 3rd and 3, you've got 2nd and 22. Make it 2nd and 17, I believe.
Neutral zone infraction, number 99, defense, 5-yard penalty, second down.
I saw Dawkins go over and still pleading his case about that holding call.
Well, and you'll see we're trying to get him. This is why home field advantage. You get to use the cadence, and you're taught, as you see Brown, once they jump off sides, you go. That way you get the 5 because they can jump back technically, but I really think this is a huge benefit. There's the cadence, right? Try to draw them off. Now you get to get up here and call a play. If you're on the road, Jim, they could disguise on the second and third level way easier.
Here's a 2nd and 17. He's wanting to take off, and it's not there. Boy, they were able to keep him contained. As there's a late shove that knocks Kincaid to the ground.
Well, this was not supposed to be a quarterback draw. It's a hot route. He just decides not to throw it, and you see the late shove right there. And the funny part is, I'm not sure he flopped. Maybe a little bit, but I do know this. When Matabike pushes you 92, it could actually be felt like that. He's a difference maker. He's a monster.
3rd and 17.
Yeah, he's right there, right in the middle of those 3.
Allen jumps up and heaves it. Incomplete. Knox was down the field, and they're not able to produce points off the takeaway.
Well, this is a communication error right here. I want you to watch. I mean, we don't let, there's like 4 guys rushing. We don't let one of those 4 come free, ever. You'd have to have 7 or 8 guys up in there, and that is rare for Buffalo to have a miscommunication on just a normal 4-man rush.
Sam Martin comes in to punt to Steven Sims. The drive bogged down after that holding call.
Well, that's what stops both these teams. Usually, that's what slowed down Baltimore more than any team this year.
There's Martin, end over end, about the 10. Fair caught at the 9 by Sims, who they picked up late in the year after he was cut by the Texans right before Christmas.
So the interception not really affected a whole lot for Baltimore.
But they will start inside their own 10 when we come back late first.
Well, this is where Baltimore, they are exceptional, Jim, as a coaching staff at adjusting. You just saw the first beginning of your game plan. Now it's time to figure out, okay, can Lamar keep it on this? Who should we put in? And now they're going with big people on the field.
I formation, just as they open the game with the first play. And they run it with Henry. He breaks through past the line and dives ahead right at the sticks.
And this formation, you come out with a lot of big people on the field. You can go either way. This time they decide to go left. They see a 1 technique there, and you see the size in those gaping holes. They did the same thing to a Pittsburgh team last week, and they ran more jumbo at the end of the year and 2 back sets than any other time throughout the year, and it's really imposed their will on their opponents.
My goodness, they ran for 299 last week against Pittsburgh. It was the most in a playoff game by any team since 2009. They racked up 308 yards of offense in just the first 2 quarters.
Well, they're playing with 2 back set again, and they've been going to it.
1st and 10, it's Hill, and Hill goes wide and gets bounced out after a gain of 8.
Here comes Baltimore's adjustments, like we said.
As the Ravens started this drive back at their own 9, they've had a couple of good running plays to get out of that jam. Got a 2nd and 1 to start the quarter.
A lot of misdirection. Does Lamar keep it? He goes this way, he goes that way.
Hands it off to Hill. There was no one near him for the first 4 or 5 yards downfield before he got touched. And they've now had 3 consecutive good chunk runs. That one goes for 11.
And this is where you got to shorten the space right here. They get numbers. I mean, just an incredible offseason plan. John Harbaugh, Todd Monken, they say, who do we want to be and how are we going to really run this offense? I think they want to be multiple. Each formation that they align in, whether they're in shotgun, under center, we want to be able to do the similar thing. So it's easy on us, but have the option to go right, left, inside, outside, but hard on the defense.
Number 1 rushing team in the league this year. Been able to move the football out to the 39 and a new set of downs. Now trying to go up top. No, he won't. He'll take off. able to get free again for a big gain as 3 Bill defenders collide on the quarterback, but not until he picked up 16, and they moved the football to the Bills side of the 50.
This is why he's so difficult. I mean, these are 2 of the best teams in the NFL at keeping the quarterback right here. Do not let him get outside. Cage him in. When he sees a little opening, he's going to get there as fast as any quarterback ever. And Rousseau did an excellent job with technique, still didn't matter.
And you saw Henry down the field, still trying to throw a block, but there were too many Bills for him to take them all on. First down. Jackson stumbles and is touchdown at the 50 by Epinesa.
Well, and this happens because of the great job by Jones inside. He's going to push the center, Linderbaum, back, and that's where Lamar ends up tripping. That only happens if you could push him back. And then you see the trip right there. You got to give this defensive line and front 7 credit right now, Jim. I know they've given up a few plays, but they're kind of controlling the line of scrimmage a little bit.
That was Daquan Jones, who really forced that loss of 4. Now it's 2nd and 14.
They're all up in here. Ball's got to get out quick, or if they pop out.
They blitz. Pass caught just out of reach for Taron Johnson, and likely has it for about 5. It'll be 3rd and 9 on the way.
Well, look at, they got too many guys up there. They planned for this. They actually were trying to steal one. I think they're coming after Lamar in obvious passing situations. That is 1 more guy rushing than you have to block. Expect that to continue.
It was Bernard who almost was able to jump up and get a fingertip on it, but you got 3rd and long. Jackson completes it. It's Anthony Miller for the first down. So Anthony Miller's bounced around the league a little bit. He's brought up off the practice squad for this one, just as he was last week.
You're going to see the motion to see if it's man or zone, and then they're going to motion him back out again. And so you're looking to see, okay, does someone run with him? Yes, now you know it's man. Just throw it underneath to a crossing route. Run away from people, Jim. Don't go up and stop.
And again, this Ravens offense, Tony, without Zay Flowers for the 2nd straight game. His knee injured right at the end of the regular season. Not stable enough to go tonight.
That is key, I think. That allows you to be more aggressive with Buffalo.
Jackson off the hands of Andrews. Milano was able to knock down Lamar after the throw.
They're hug rushing, which means when the running back is going to block, you're going to go ahead and take off to the quarterback. And Milano, who's been doing that a long time, this is a little adjustment for Buffalo as the drop uncharacteristic for Mark Andrews. But they're playing man, they're risking it.
It's 2 drops by Baltimore in this first half.
That's going to happen in this game to me. The ball's slippery. You saw it in the earlier game. A lot of little fumbles, little things that happen.
2nd and 10. Awkwardness as Jackson wrapped up. The ball's out. Scooped up. Von Miller. Von Miller with Hill chasing after him. Hill tries to swipe the ball out of his hands, but Miller holds on, and the Bills defense has a 2nd takeaway. It was DeMar Hamlin who stripped it out of his hands. The play was doomed right off the snap.
I just got done talking about they're going to be more aggressive. They're pressuring, but I just told you the ball comes this way. The ball's going to be slippery. We're seeing it. You've got to protect the football. You don't realize until you play in these conditions consistently, as you see Von Miller coming up with another big play in the playoffs. He's had a few, but got to give Hamlin credit here. Blitzing off the edge. Lamar tries to make him miss. He doesn't fall for it. And the slippery ball shows up again.
The last time Von Miller ran a 40 that fast was 14 years ago at the Combine.
Look at these guys. Oh, man. Every play in these games, Jim, it's everything. The whole season comes down to these things.
2 turnovers committed by the Ravens. As now the toss goes to Ty Johnson, ridden down after 3. It's interesting, the Bills, the entire season, did not lose the turnover battle 1 time.
That's crazy. And I mean, if you think about it, We've got some crazy stats about how you don't throw that many touchdowns all year with so few turnovers. But for Lamar Jackson with only 4 interceptions on the season, I mean, first game this year with 2 giveaways, Jim? I mean, that's not the recipe, right? We saw what happened yesterday, and teams who turn it over a lot, the Lions, you could be the better team and still lose sometimes.
On a 2nd and 7. Across the middle. Shakir holds on to it down to about the 8. First and goal to go.
And this is a key matchup to me in this game. You're going to see one-on-one Humphrey and Shakir right here. He has a 2-way go in and out. This one actually he only could go in. But Josh Allen reads Humphrey having outside leverage and knows where to go right away. And Shakir, who's really taken off this year, especially with the rack yardage, run after catch, showing off again.
Second best in the league. First and goal. Samuel in motion. They go to Cook. Cook still going and getting pushed. Wow. Torrance is one of those trying to drag him across. And he's going to be about a yard out.
This is so rare to impose your will down inside the 10, 15-yard line against this Ravens front. And right here, Cook, who I think is even better than the national pundits Foley know. I think he might be right there at 3rd. We know about Barkley and Henry, but look at this Bills offense come in. Spencer Brown, we've seen Dawkins do it.
Look at Torrance trying to just wrestle him across. Now you got a 2nd and goal.
I'm telling you, whenever they want to get it, they could use Allen. Maybe it's not time yet.
But it certainly looked like the setup with Reggie Gilliam line up behind him. Here it is, Allen. He just steamrolls across for the Buffalo touchdown.
Mr. Automatic, Josh Allen in that situation. If they can get to 3rd and 2, or 2nd and 2, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, anything inside there in goal, and you get 2 plays, I don't see how you could stop him. It's such a weapon that other teams don't have, only the Eagles that I've seen.
And in their case, they use Reggie Gilliam to help just shove him across as Bass comes out for the PAT. The chance for MVP or Hurd. Of course, the MVP voting, folks, will not be influenced by this game tonight. That's already in. That's
Seriously?
already in at the end of the regular season.
Oh.
I know you know that. But it's the scoop by Miller and then Allen with the keep.
This was such a fun game to see. If it would have been weighted, you can't, right?
Yeah, you can't.
But it would have been cool to see. Whoever wins, you get it.
Yeah, the votes were turned in over a week ago.
Super Bowl's more important than that.
Here's Mitchell. Across the 30 and out to the 35 on a nice return. So far in this game, Lamar with his first game of the season with 2 giveaways. It's just here, not even halfway through the 2nd quarter.
I will say this, going into this game, you know, I'm always looking for the little subtlety thing to give this thing an edge, right? Why I see this edge here, there. The Ravens have more margin for error than the Bills do. If the Bills would have started off with these 2 turnovers, I think it could have gotten away from them. But Baltimore, you're still in it. Lamar Jackson, you are still an MVP guy. Derrick Henry's there. This game can get calmed down for you in a hurry. Just start over.
Bishop is in the secondary for the Bills. Rapp was hurt on that scoop play, fumble return, as Jackson fakes the throw and takes off for about 11. And that might have been a little late at Oliver. And they are letting it be known on that sideline. They didn't appreciate that. But no flag.
Wow, he turned it on. That should be...
Gene.
You know, I see Oliver that grabs him right before he's out of bounds, so they're allowing him to finish the tackle there as opposed to a hit that happens or is initiated after he's out of bounds, fellas.
I mean, I feel like that was late.
I did too.
I mean, he's too precious. I mean, you can't allow that to happen. He goes down, that changes everything so fast.
Here's Henry. Power surge for about 7. The Ravens 2 miscues. We know about the giveaways, but the drop pass by Henry And then the Rapp interception. Rapp, by the way, is in the blue 10, as I was saying, for that last snap. And then this one, again, it was going haywire right off the shotgun snap.
You could argue 3 of those 4 right there were weather conditions. You just don't play in this that often. So a team who maybe does play. Now, Baltimore is very well-versed in these conditions, but this one is another level.
Back to Henry, bouncing around, and gets right at the line needed. They're going to mark him about a foot short.
I'm telling you, this interior, the D-line, Phillips is getting off the ball, 97, and he is disruptive inside. We saw Jones as well, and they are making the one way to stop Derrick Henry is to slow his momentum, make him go east and west. He gets going downhill. It's really problematic, and Buffalo so far are doing it well.
Well, you got Derrick Henry. You talked about Josh being automatic. You got Derrick Henry. Hold on, you got
right
John
there.
Harbaugh over there wanting a timeout as they were getting late in the NFL record with 8 playoff wins on the road.
It's amazing. He's one of the best coaches of all time. I mean, he knows all 3 phases, and this is huge right here.
3rd and foot. Well, it looks like it's going to be enough.
And they're short of where the ball's actually at.
You know, they have their short yardage package of their own with Mark Andrews, and that has worked for him so many times.
Well, you don't want to have your quarterback take all these hits, but you do want a guy the size of Josh Allen taking the hits. Lamar's a little bit lighter. We know how fast he is on the edge, but you get hit inside there, and
Rapp is being carted to the locker room. He got knocked out in the first game this year in the first half with a concussion, never returned. So again, a rookie is back there for him, Cole Bishop, number 24. Here's a first down throw down the field and open down to the 1-yard line. It's Bateman. What a throw this was for 42.
well, this is where they're attacking the middle of the field. Hamlin doesn't get deep enough, and Douglas feels like he's got safety help inside. And it's just a simple single high, and Hamlin should be getting deep here, and he just gets his eyes in the wrong place looking at Lamar Jackson.
Got a line change here, barely in time. 1st and goal, 2 yards away. Henry, plugged, no gain. Well, it's starting to get more than chippy out here.
Yeah, I mean, they're even hitting the refs, it looks like, pushing them down. That's a, doesn't matter what jersey color you have on. The ref's going to go down here. Get in there. Yeah, nothing bad's going to happen to you. Nothing bad. Oh, yep, you're coming with us. Phillips, I told you. He's been off to a great start, but you got to keep your composure.
2nd and goal, 3 yards out. Lamar keeps it, looks, wanting to take off, and he is sacked back at the 8-yard line. Greg Russo.
They were trying to sell Derrick Henry all day. We're going to give it to him. Buffalo does not fall for it. And you see just the effort and commitment by this front 4 continuing, and that's who's got to win if they want to have a chance.
They had 1st and goal from the 2. Now it's 3rd and goal back at the 8.
Think you should have given that one to Henry?
Yeah.
Get too cute sometimes.
Again, Lamar loves to go to his tight ends down here. Floating, looking, flickering, and ball tapped around, and it falls incomplete. And Linderbaum with one last shove to boot.
What a great design. Bob Babich, Sean McDermott, they are going to rush everyone this way, but watch the circle right there. Milano, you know he's going to come out to the right. We make it seem like it's wide open, and they trust him. They did it on the 1st, 3rd down. Lamar was able to still make it work, but not there.
Tucker, 26 yards. That's all it is. Never missed this season from inside 40, but it was a big struggle beyond that. Kick from 26 is good. Well, that's a win for the Bills defense. They saw the Ravens 2 yards out, 1st and goal. Hold them to that field goal. You're watching the divisional playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax. Able to do something with this drive. Then you had deferred at the top. You would be receiving the 3rd quarter kick. That would, again, it could have flipped the other way too. By the way, Tucker did handle an earlier kickoff, but they're going to go to the punter here, Jordan Stout.
Different direction. Jay Feely knows this way you're kicking into the wind.
And puts a big leg to it through the back of the end zone. By the way, just before kickoff tonight, a special moment. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell surprised Charlene Mallory, a Buffalo Bills superfan, with 2 tickets, 2 round-trip flights, and a hotel room in New Orleans for the Super Bowl next month. Charlene has been just remarkable. A volunteer at St. Luke's Mission of Mercy on the east side of Buffalo since 2000, which serves over 1,000 people per day. Congratulations to Charlene Mallory going to the Super Bowl. Now, she would love to see her Bills be down there too. And here's Josh Allen on 1st down, flips it over to Cook. Gilliam up front blocking for him and a pickup of 8. Let's go to Tracy.
Jim, we saw Bills safety Taylor Rapp carted off into the locker room. He was in significant pain. He suffered a hip injury on that fumble, and he's going in for x-rays.
That is...
There he is. He runs into Hamlin. Gets twisted awkwardly.
That's going to be big, too, because Hamlin got beat already on the big play down the field. Didn't cost him a touchdown, but it was close. And now you're taking the other safety out, which means Lewis is going to get a lot more time, possibly Cam Bishop, too.
2nd and 3. Barely beats the play clock. They go to Davis. Rookie has some speed. Scored a touchdown at the top of this game, and he's got a 1st down on this occasion, running behind Spencer Brown for a pickup of 16.
This is why, being at home, they could get to the correct play. And this play does not. If you're on the road, you're either taking a timeout or you're running a bad run into a bad look. The numbers are on your side over there. Extend out, 1 foot in the ground. You see Davis take over, but on the road, it's hard to communicate all that because you have 2 plays called. Huge advantage for Buffalo.
Approaching the 2-minute warning and a 1st and 10. From the Ravens 47, Davis again able to fight through a tackle, and it gets clobbered near the 1st down. Connor McGovern this time helping open up that big running play. We've got the 2-minute warning and a fast-moving 1st half. Bills are driving and leading 14-10. Out of the 2-minute warning, and 2nd and 1 coming up. And Mark Davis short by about a foot on that last carry. So they go back to Cook to pick it up. Got the new set of downs. And we can tell you that coming up, the Verizon halftime report. They'll have the 1st half highlights and analysis. A review of the Eagles win against the Rams. JB and all the crew on the Verizon halftime report. As Philly and Washington are all set to meet for the 3rd time in 2.5 months to find a winner of the NFC.
Yeah, and how about Jaden Daniels? Remember we did their game early in the year, and I was incredibly impressed with his poise and his ability to get through progressions. He's not a rookie, Jim.
1st and 10. Good toss to Shakir, and he's got about 4. I'll never forget seeing him as timeout's called by Harbaugh, because we were there for the Hail Mary that kind of launched this season for the Commanders into the stratosphere.
Yeah, I just remember him throwing a ball away after going through all 5 guys in the field. It was so impressive for a rookie who I think has grown up.
Time for the Bills from the 32 of Baltimore. Stay with Cook. Cook. Pierce is there waiting for him.
Oh, man. I understand the call a little bit because he wanted Baltimore to be out of timeouts. But I felt like that was a huge decision right there. I didn't love it.
We're back in 30 seconds after this. Like the play call, Tony.
I didn't, because I felt like it was just a little too safe, because to me, I would have used Josh's legs there. A designed run, you know, a fake, a screen to the receiver, something that gave you a chance to get closer, because Remember, this is still a dynamic front against the run. I think you need something special, because now if you get an incompletion right here, Jim, they get the ball back with over a minute to go.
Need 5 for the first. Long 5. Third down throw down the sideline. There was a little push off there, and flag comes out. He was trying to connect with Keon Coleman, and the former Bill, Tre'Davious White, was tangled with him.
Pass interference, number 25. Defense, false place at the spot of the foul. Automatic first down.
Well, Coleman is their second-round pick, who's really come on as of late, and White wanted no part of going there. You got to let him go here, even though they're both kind of roughhousing each other. But to me, that's the correct call.
Gene, is that the right call?
Tough play, guys, to me. It looks like both are engaged, hands, and then you've got both of them disengaging with the defender falling, and he's really not pulling the receiver down with him there. I would have liked to see a no call there, fellas.
Like it.
From the 12. Again, Ravens out of timeouts. Bills have 3. They go to the ground to Cook. Cook takes it for 4. Brought down by Wiggins.
Gene, I do think it's going to be called more often than not on the defensive player.
Yeah, it does happen that way, Tony.
If it's close,
at times when it's
you know what I'm
close that
saying?
way,
It's
you're
like,
leaning
it
toward
looks-
a
you gotta
defensive
just put
play.
your hands away just a little.
Yes.
Let them call it on him.
Of course, you're looking at White, who's a former first-round pick for the Bills, was beloved in this community and had a big ACL a couple years ago. They had to let him go via free agency. He went to the Rams. They were not able to keep him, cut him. Ravens picked him up.
You got to get down in here. Quarterback's legs. 5 guys to block these 5.
Inside 30, 2nd and 6. There you go, Tony, with the legs.
Hamilton.
He's still going, bouncing around to about the 4.
I would take a timeout if I was Buffalo right now.
And they do at 19 seconds with a 3rd and 2 on the way.
Because you don't want to lose plays, because you can still get a first down, and you need the time there.
By the way, next Sunday, again, 2 trips to Super Bowl 59 on the line, beginning at 3 Eastern with the NFC Championship on Fox. And then the AFC Championship, we'll have it for you at 6:30 Eastern right here on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus. Kansas City awaiting the winner of this one. Of course, they opened the season winning by a toenail over the Ravens in that thriller. And of course, the Chiefs played here in November with the Bills beating them. A little hit to the head by Humphrey.
Well, situation.
He was a runner. Yep.
I told you, Hamilton's the guy who's got to come in and make that play, and then Humphrey finishes it off here. But Josh takes a lot of big hits, and he ramps up his running in the playoffs.
Got a 3rd and 2. They still have 2 timeouts in the pocket. Ty Johnson is in the backfield with them.
Watch this formation. Who's going to motion? Shakir? You're not going to stay there, are you?
It's Allen. Allen straight ahead. Bulldozes in for the touchdown.
Guess who's going to get the ball in key situations, Jim? Watch 64. We're going to pull from this side, but Torrance turns the corner right there, and that's why you hear the MVP chants right now. He has played like it in this first half. Very systematic.
His 2nd touchdown run of this first half, and now Bass chips it through to make it an 11-point lead with 16 seconds left before the intermission.
And you talked about the double up. Buffalo getting the ball coming out in the second half. That was huge to get 7. And guess who finishes it off? Man, I mean, you know, it just runs through guys who are huge, Jim. That's such an advantage. And you got to allocate numbers in there when he gets close to first down territory, 4th downs, and the red zone. Do not let his legs beat you. Easier said than done, though.
All that raw strength.
Yes.
Growing up, the son of a rancher out in the Central Valley of California, Fireball.
Wow.
That's just natural strength.
It is. I mean, like literally, me and him are 2 of the strongest quarterbacks
Yeah, I always thought that.
I've ever played the game. You ask Parcells.
Where was your push back in the day?
Well, I tried to do it, but then I got hurt once. And I was like, oh, I don't think we quite had that play in back then.
That's for the Bills. 3 touchdowns in the half, all of them coming on the ground. The first by Davis and the last 2 by Josh Allen.
I think it's apparent right now. Baltimore coming in was going to impose their will on Buffalo like they did in week 4. Well, I think Buffalo, I'm not saying they're imposing their will, but I'm saying they're making it even, which now gives them a serious chance. You had the 2 turnovers. Buffalo's favored big time right now.
Mitchell from the 2. Mitchell splits the defenders, and then snowy late afternoon in Philadelphia, and that's going to be the last snap of the first half. And the first half with the Bills leading 21-10.
You see Lamar right there? He still thinks they can win. That's what you want to see if you're a Ravens fan. They have more margin for error, but he's going to have to pick it up. But he'll use his legs a little bit, but you got to give him reps at it so he can kind of see how Buffalo is defending it.
So here we go. 2 quarters to go. One team heading to Kansas City. And the kick, not going to make it to the end zone. Going to be run back at the goal line. It's Davis. Davis gets up to about the 25. And a moment ago, Tracy had a chance to visit with John Harbaugh.
Coach, you give up the touchdown at the end of the half. They get the ball to start this half. What do you need to see from your defense here?
We need to stop the run. First of all, shots are still going to come up. Do a good job top-down coverage, but stop the run.
You can sense Lamar is frustrated after those turnovers. What did you say to him in the locker room?
Nothing. He didn't need anything. He's a guy talking. We're ready to go. We'll score some points and go win the game.
Thank you.
Thanks.
When they've been down this season by double digits, they've actually won 4 out of 6 occasions. So first snap, 3rd quarter. Keep doing what they're doing. They're running the football. This time the Ravens are up to it. One thing is interesting, Joe Brady, you talk about him being two-dimensional. In that first half, they only threw the football 7 times. Josh Allen completed only 5 throws, and they lead by 11.
I told you coming into the game, it was one of my keys. I said, I think Buffalo is better than people realize at systematically running the ball. You may not see the 70, 80 yarders and everything, but they can actually win the situations over and over again and reset each time you move the chains. And right now, as soon as they get into a 2 or less situation, it's almost automatic. They went for it on the 4th down. Guess whose legs? Josh. And expect that to continue.
On 2nd and 9. That pass incomplete. Intended for Kincaid. This is a team, though, to amplify your point about how they can do it on the ground, in the air. They became the only team in NFL history with at least 30 touchdown passes and at least 30 touchdown runs in one season.
Well, that's why both these teams are equally explosive in the run game and the pass game. I think Buffalo is more situationally driven. Get into this situation, you can expect it. But Baltimore is just explosive in general, but they leaned on the run, and it helped, and that always helps when you have the lead or when the other team turns the ball over.
On 3rd and 9, they come blitzing after Allen. Allen just able to throw it away. The only player in the area was Spencer Brown. That was Wiggins, their 1st-round pick out of Clemson, blitzing from the secondary, and the Bills unable to do anything with that first possession of the 3rd quarter.
So aggressive right here. Zach Orr, D coordinator, you're going to see the motion come across. That's just a guy guarding a receiver out there. Nothing to see.
There's no foul for intentional grounding on the play. Receiver number 1 was in the area.
But Wiggins, I mean, that is very aggressive, and that is a corner blitz, and you do not account for that. And when Baltimore played in week 4, they did a great job of disrupting the blocking schemes and keeping Josh Allen from creating plays. They did it again here. Now they're back in phase. They got a chance, Jim.
2nd punt for Martin. Ravens didn't punt in that first half. Turned it over twice. Martin uncorks a big one. Back to the 19. It's Sims as the defenders slip, and he goes out to about the 36. 55-yard punt, 17-yard return. Ty Johnson ended it. Let's see if AFC Championship live on Paramount Plus. Ravens. First snap of the 2nd half, and it's thrown in the area of Aguilar, who was injured in that first half and sat out most of it. As Jackson goes to 6 for 11 now passing in this game.
Well, here it is, Jim. Right now, you're watching this aggressive Buffalo defense. Sean McDermott, Bobby Babich came out with an uncharacteristically aggressive game plan. The Bills have blitzed and played more man coverage in the last 2 seasons, the most today, and they've been able to generate more pressure, 6 of their 7 blitzes. They're continuing to play man and send Milano right here.
Here's the pass play to Andrews, and he is tackled at about the 41, pickup of 5. He got a 3rd and 5 on the way. He was tackled by Cole Bishop. Tony was getting all this action with Taylor Rapp being carted off in the first half.
I know, and that somewhat concerning. You have to play a lot of young guys, especially as talented a group as Baltimore, but the pressure is showing Baltimore. They don't get quite as explosive, don't have the same time they've had in other games. Expect it to continue right here, Jim, and force Lamar to Milano.
Changing it up inside, 4 seconds on the play clock.
Come over here, and Bernard, go get him.
3rd and 5. Jackson's pass complete. Andrews catches balls on the last 2 plays, and he's got a first down. Pick up at 9.
Mark Andrews, watch this. He's getting guarded by one of the best slot corners in the league. He just throws him off of him, and he's wide open. Good job by Lamar Jackson to just stay patient in the pocket and go through the progression.
Justice Hill at running back. Had 2 carries for 20 yards in the first half, and he peels off another nice run right on that average. Now 3 totes for 30 yards and another first down.
Well, he had a great game.
He did, catching the ball in the first matchup
Yes.
against them.
He was a huge difference maker. 6 catches for 78 yards and a touchdown, and even today, he's showing that extra burst that's kind of hurt Buffalo a little bit. This is a monster drive.
From the Bills, 39.
A lot of success in the first half with 2 tight ends. That's the matchup nightmare. They can run it or throw it and run it either way.
Handoff to Henry. Henry gets a running start, and Henry down to about the 27. By far his best carry of the evening.
This is exactly what I would live in. If I'm Baltimore, I put 2 tight ends in. You don't know if we're going to run or throw it because both guys can catch the ball, and then Derrick Henry has a 2-way go. Run inside, outside, right or left. You almost can't match up perfectly. This is going to be a problem for Buffalo moving forward.
That was a 12-yard carry as he goes out for this play, and Hill returns. On first down, they toss it to Hill. They got it behind the line. It was Epinesa to strike first. Loss of 2.
Take a look at Epinesa right here. That's a defensive end, and he just extends the play all the way out, trying to set the edge, but he continues out. And as soon as Justice Hill decides to stop his momentum, he gives the angle for Epinesa, and you're seeing this defensive front bring it. They're sacrificing their body today so far, Jim.
2nd and 12 as McDermott looks on.
Watch out, shotgun. This is Lamar. This is where I would go to. Game on.
They blitz. He gets rid of it, and in the area of Andrews, incomplete. That was Taron Johnson who really disrupted things, Tony.
You're exactly right. This is why I said McDermott is more aggressive today than he's ever been. He's going to blitz all 7 guys, 6 guys, and make it a hot throw because the back released. That's just Lamar having to play faster than he's had to play all year. Give Buffalo credit, but this is the biggest play.
Yeah, it's a big one, and the Ravens have actually been 5 out of 6 tonight on 3rd down, including 2 out of 3 from 8+, which is the occasion here, 3rd and 12.
And after you just pressured a bunch, do you continue doing that?
But what do you think?
I don't know. They're going to come after him right up the middle. Watch this.
Bills didn't think they beat the play clock. And now I heard a whistle, I thought. Yeah.
He thought there was a whistle, too.
Yep.
Lamar stopped.
Priority snap, delay of game, number 8. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
3rd down and 17 it'll be.
It's the best thing for Baltimore, the worst thing for Buffalo, but it's the right call. Look at the clock. Sees the internal pressure, tries to change. That is definitely a delay of game.
From here, if they got no yardage, it would be 52 yards for Tucker.
Well, here we go. You just need to get some yards to get 3 at least and create a one-score game.
3rd and 17. Across the middle, Bateman, and he's hammered down from behind by Milano, who was just watching everything. He was eyeing Lamar and saw the pass, came back and made the tackle.
That's your game plan coming into the week, is how to rush him, to make him force him to somebody. These guys are all going to rush. So that way, if he does roll out to Lamar's left, Milano is there. They like that matchup, although it's never perfect. Good job by Lamar just getting some yards to make the field goal more advantageous.
47 yards. Beyond 40 this year, the great Justin Tucker, all-time percentage, but not this year. 11 out of 19 from beyond 40. This is 47. That's a beautiful kick. And it's good.
The GOAT is still here.
And it's a one-score game.
That's why that was so huge, and that's why you keep him around. He's amazing.
You're watching the Divisional Playoffs presented by Intuit TurboTax.
I've ever seen, the best player I've ever seen, and I think both these coaches might say the same thing about their quarterback.
Absolutely. This will be a touchback. It was called War Memorial Stadium, and Josh Allen will take the field now. Played in Wyoming, at the University of Wyoming, at a stadium called War Memorial Stadium. NFL. Start this drive, little play action. They go to the safety valve, and it's Cook.
There you go.
For about 3, Kyle Hamilton, who we had a great visit with last night, Tony. He's just a remarkable young man. 3rd year out of Notre Dame. He's going to be going to the national championship game, by the way, tomorrow night in Atlanta. He's going to go see his Fighting Irish take on Penn State.
Yeah, it's a rarity. I mean, what a great job by Notre Dame getting that. That's going to be a great game. Ohio State, Notre Dame.
I'm going to say Ohio State. What am I saying?
Notre Dame.
Ohio State.
Yes.
Notre Dame. I'll be watching.
I got you. But the funny thing right there, he stopped the deeper pass and came and rallied and tackled to make it a 2nd and 7. That's rare.
The sidearm toss over to Shakir. And look, holding on is the man that Hamilton talked an awful lot about last night in our meeting, Darius Washington, his running mate in the safety position.
Well, that's really what's been the difference, is these guys who are playing deep. No one right there. That's 12 to 14 yards away. And to tackle in space tackling is very different. It's different than in line, which is the edge of the line, right? Like out in space on Shakir, who's as good, 2nd in the NFL at run after catch. Wow, impressive.
3rd and 5. Allen takes something off of it, gets it to Samuel, and he's got the 1st down. He had Wiggins on him.
Well, he came up big last week, Samuel, with that big play. Now it's man-to-man again. You got to be more aggressive. Take a look at the top. He's going to run a little whip route in and come back out, and it's very hard to change direction on a field like this in these conditions, and he keeps his body weight and leverage correct to be able to beat Wiggins, and that's a big pickup.
Yeah, his first catch of the game. Signed here in March.
He's got some speed. That does concern you.
To Cook. And the Ravens, they just gave up a 1st down, but it looks like they've tightened things up on this defense these first 2 series of the 2nd half.
One of the best teams, really, for a long time, at just understanding conceptually what their opponent is trying to do, and then going and saying, all right, it's still our system, but we're going to do more of this. You guys have to understand they're trying to attack us here, right? Whether it's a C gap, A gap, inside, outside. Throw it outside the numbers or inside, and they've done a good job of that. However, they're going to have to stop the pass in man-to-man situations in key downs.
2nd and 10. Able to complete it for about 6. Roquan Smith is there waiting for Shakir. They got another 3rd down on the way. This defense really was a struggle. Even Coach Harbaugh knew it was a crisis early in the year. But Zach Orr, with some reinforcement by Dean Pease, the former D coordinator here, and the movement you mentioned about Kyle Hamilton, they got so much better as the year went on. Look, since week 11.
Slightly better. Here's early, here's later. Yeah, that's they've been dynamic, but they haven't faced a quarterback like this, or an offense, I should say, like this since then. And you see they motion him out so they can get detail on what they're playing.
On 3rd and 5, and that's the Ravens defense making the play. As Kyle Van Noy just driving back the tight end, Dawson Knox. And that is Zach Orr we were just talking about. 32-year-old D coordinator, former player for the Ravens.
And this is where you were talking about Dean Pease and Zach Orr. They did a great job of disguising that pressure. And it's going to be a screen out there. And Humphrey and Van Noy fly out there quickly. And right now, like you said, they're getting a beat on what this Bills team is going to do. Like I said, you can't be too safe right now.
They picked up 1 first down in 2 drives to start the quarter.
That's what happens when you have a 2-score lead. It kind of like the coordinator, everyone just wants to like kind of let someone else do it. It's like, go win the game. And now Baltimore, your turn. Go get back in this right now.
Martin, who punted only once last week, punts for the 3rd time. And that ball bounces into the end zone for a net yardage on that punt of only 32 yards.
Well, we knew it was a heavyweight fight. Baltimore came out in the first drive 7-0. Buffalo definitely answered, took the lead. I don't know why, it just feels like maybe Baltimore's starting to figure out what Buffalo's doing.
Yeah, and it started with their defense. Here's Henry. Henry just running and leaning forward for another 7, maybe 6.
The longer the game goes, the better he gets.
Todd Monken, their offensive coordinator, he led this team to something that we haven't seen since the greatest show on turf back in 2001 with the Rams. They led the NFL in yards per rush and yards per pass play this year.
So you're the best each time you run the ball per play in running it and the best in passing it. Yeah, that's pretty good, Jim, since those are the 2 things you do on offense.
Exactly. 2nd and 3, we'll call it. As Henry is driving to within about a foot of the first. 3rd and short coming up.
Yeah, and Buffalo's done a great job so far today when Henry's in the game. And
we know that Derrick Henry becomes such a force the last 2 quarters. If this team leads in the 4th, they have the lead, you're in serious trouble.
It's over, yep. If he gets over 90 yards in a game, they're 11-0 this year. And he's starting to gain momentum, about halfway there now.
2 extra linemen in for the Ravens on 3rd and a foot. They got it with ease, and here he goes. Henry tripped up out at the 46 by Hamlin. He was about to show off that 32-year-old speed that has people mystified how he's getting faster by the year.
You're exactly right, and this is Fa'alele 77 is going to pull on the right side, and right there you see the big opening. And lucky that Henry didn't go the distance like he did on play 1 in week 4.
87 yards on his way to 199. On 1st down, Jackson's pass connects with Andrews. We do have a marker down.
Yeah, this is the man coverage that McDermott and pressuring. And it's going to be a penalty on Douglas trying to guard Andrews, I think.
Prior to the pass, holding number 31, defense. Penalties declined. Results of the play, 1st down.
Let's go down the trays.
You guys talked about Derrick Henry getting better with age. I asked him about it this week. He said a lot has to do with how he takes care of his body. His $240,000 body maintenance plan, which includes a personal chef, advanced recovery methods like massages, hyperbaric oxygen, infrared saunas. He takes vitamins and nutrients. He has a strict diet. All of that dedication has made him better throughout his season.
There goes Hill, who must be on some kind of regimen of his own.
Yeah.
He's running tonight.
Well, he's looked like that each time he's played Buffalo. And to me, the only diets that, I mean, that's a lot of money for it too, but take a look, just simple zone, and Hill is just showing off the juice right away. Great change of pace back, and he's got that burst right now. And when he gets in the game, you know what happens to your brain if you're Buffalo? Oh, they're going to throw it, right?
Yeah.
No.
He's got 5 carries for 51 yards. That one went for 22.
By the way, he spends more money on that diet than you do. And that's
Yeah, right.
I've never heard anybody else get that close to you.
Speaking of a diet, they feed it to Henry, and he's down to the 5-yard line.
A healthy diet of these running backs, and Henry's at the top of the food chain right here, and right there, you're starting to see, look at Ricard, the kick out. Boom. Douglas, that's what happens as the game goes on. You don't really, I mean, he takes it on. You got to close that space. This is getting concerning right now if you're Buffalo, because they're wearing on you.
His last 2 carries have gone for big yardage. That went for 15. First and goal. Stay with him. Henry.
Yeah.
He's in for the touchdown. Oh, boy, they looked unstoppable on the ground. They just rushed for 68 yards on that drive to the end zone, and now a 2-point conversion attempt away from tying the game.
I want you to watch right here. Watch the outstanding job. You push, and then you come off. Rosengarten, awesome job. Ricard did a great job as well there, going for 2.
Yep, one play that can tie it if you make it with 1:37 to go in the third.
They're starting to show it, imposing their will here. As soon as they do that, then Lamar keeps it.
Going to take it out of the gun and send Henry out of the backfield as he looks for the tie. Flicks it. It got tipped. Incomplete, and the Bills still cling to a lead.
Guess who tipped it? Matt Milano. He's come up with 3 or 4 big plays in this game because that was a walk-in, just like this was.
Derrick Henry gets the 9 yards rushing this quarter. Baltimore to only 1 yard on the ground for the Bills, who have not done anything offensively. Picked up 1 first down here in the quarter.
Yeah, I think you saw Baltimore kind of impose their will there, Jim, and you talk about it. We were talking about it during the break, just how they've kind of figured out. No team is, I mean, there's like 3 or 4, maybe 5 teams in the league who I think always adjust faster than other teams. They're showing you that today.
Here's the kick by Stout. And he booms another one for the touchback.
Think you're going to make our game next week?
I will be.
Just going to say
we're
still doing the.
I'm still going to do the golf too, but I'll call it from the stadium. Can't wait to be reunited with the crew as we begin our West Coast swing. 1st and 10 as Cook darts outside, and I tell you, that was a nice patient move. That kind of thing you used to see Le'Veon Bell do in his prime.
Yeah, and he kind of set up the block for him. You're exactly right, Jim. Simple power. Bring the left guard over, and then let Cook. You caught that?
Yeah, I got you. I got you. Yeah, you. So subtle.
I know it was. But that's exactly what they needed. Something just to take that breath. And that's where Josh Allen, we've talked about in years past, hasn't had that, where he didn't have to do everything.
He's got Johnson in now, and this time he is stuffed. As there's a whole slew, including Harrison and Pierce. Adds on to it. Loss of 1.
It's just outstanding job by Washington, 96. And this D-line really imposing their will as well. And then you saw Harrison come and finish it up. And I really felt like Harrison and Smith had to come up big in this game because the D-line's going to push the pocket, but they got to go finish the plays and tackle the ball in space.
Final half minute of the third quarter, which the Ravens have put up 9 points to nothing for the Bills.
Time to go to Josh Allen. It's time.
Still under 100 yards passing in the game. He completes this one. Shakir, look at that effort, just backing his way for as much as he could get. And we're going to start the fourth quarter with what looks like about a 3rd and 3 on the way.
Yeah, there's no more not 2 passes every 3-down sequence, right? If you're going to punt on 4th down, Josh Allen better have the ball in his hands for 2 out of the 3 plays from this point on.
Fourth quarter, Tony, it's a 3rd and 2. Josh Allen did not run it once in the third quarter. Hands it off. And they're going to get the first down with a little help from McGovern. And the quarterback comparison, you look at these two. I mean, 96 yards passing for Josh Allen. He's hit 6 of his last 6 for 27 yards. So hasn't been a lot of action down the field.
I'm not going out without Josh Allen being the focal point of my offense. They've done a great job. Give them credit. They've played the game the way the game has been played out today, the conditions, etc. But Josh Allen can throw through this. He can do this. I would block it up. They brought in an extra tackle. They've been the most used in the league. They're great at that. But now I would play action this.
Here's the play action for you. He dumps it off to Cook. Cook trying to wiggle past Washington. He's got about 6 out of that.
This is exactly, if I'm Buffalo, I'm not going to go ahead, and I told you already, and just run this ball a couple times and then say, hey, Josh, 3rd and 7, save us. Baltimore's incredible at keeping quarterbacks in the pocket and having a very disruptive blitz package. So, Josh, go win on 1st and 2nd down. That's what I'm doing going forward. And use his legs more in this quarter, Jim.
Yep.
0 in the 3rd quarter.
5 carries, 15 yards, 2 touchdowns in the first half. Here's a 2nd and 5. Cook again thinking about going outside, then he spins around. Stevens got away from him to move the chains.
What a run. This is probably the most perfect 2 plays, right? Josh Allen, play action on 1st down, he gets it. He's also going to get it on 3rd down. As soon as you're in 2nd and 5, give it to your next guy, which is Cook, and let him cook. And he does it. That's it. I would throw it on 1st, run it on 2nd, give it to Allen on 3rd. If you get into 3rd and 2 or 4th and 2 or less, give it to him again.
It was a gain of 7. And now from the Ravens 35. They run it on 1st down. Cook tripped up. Got only 2. Harbaugh on the sideline over there clapping for his defense, liking that last stop.
Yeah, they're a pretty good run defense. Number 1 in the NFL.
Right. Yep.
I mean, they've got 27 rushes today, 17 passes for Buffalo. You got to go down with Allen.
2nd and 8.
And believe me, usually he'll make you go up, not down.
And the throw here, wide of the mark for Amari Cooper. First time he's been targeted. Hasn't been on the field very much. Now you got a 3rd and 8.
Yeah, it's a good throw. It's just tight defense on the outside. Amari got tied up.
Let's say if they don't get anything here, Jay, it'd be like 51 yards. Is that doable in the conditions here for Bass?
Bass could make it, but they'd like to get a few more yards. You're under 20 degrees. That ball doesn't carry very well.
Thank you, Jay.
They're going to come after him here. They're not letting him use his legs and extend. Be prepared for someone coming in off the edge.
Allen, the traffic, throws it. No flag. Intended for Shakir.
And that's on Stevens. 21 right here. He's going to go up, break in, and does he wrap his hand, Gene?
You know, it's there, Tony, but I don't feel a real hook and turn. Now, this close-up looks a little more dramatic. You don't know where the football is on that replay, but there's an arm around. I just don't know how much effect before the ball gets there.
I kind of agree with you. Even though it looked like a penalty, but if the ball's way away from you.
51 yards it'll be for Bass. From the right hash with Martin on the hold. Here's the Bass kick, and that's a beauty of his own, and it's good. First points of the 2nd half for Buffalo. From 51 out, 24-19, Bills lead. You're watching.
Yeah, you can't hold these historic offenses down for too long. And we knew coming into the game, one team had a slight advantage, and it's the size, really, of Baltimore. And you know, without Zay Flowers, it allowed, give Sean McDermott and Bobby Babich credit. They have blitzed more than they ever have. They played more man, and it's worked. But now Baltimore has figured out how to attack it.
Yeah, they're really running with the football, as you'll see here, that last drive.
Well, you'll see they're wearing them down, and we know it. Derrick Henry gets better as the game goes on, but so does the offensive line, the coaching staff, everybody. You start to learn where the leverage is, where the angles are, and it just looked, how many times can you go to the well mentally, physically, over and over again? If you're Buffalo, can Baltimore impose that will one more time? And if they go down and make it look that easy again, Jim, That's very concerning if you're a Bills Mafia.
Let's see if the Bills defense has made any adjustments here.
They'll try, but big people can push around littler people more often.
On 1st and 10. They swing it over to Sims. Tackled down by Epinesa after a gain of about 3.5.
That was a really good play call right there. You expect this run almost 100%, and you basically throw a screen pass as an extension of the run game. Could have gotten more yards than that. It's the least amount they could have gotten. The pressure on Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson going into this week, and right now,
it's enormous.
It's enormous. It's immense, right?
Look at, it comes out of the backfield, and they direct snap it to Henry, and he's a yard shy of the first. About a yard and a half shy of the first. So they send him out of the backfield, Lamar, and they go Wildcat with Derek.
Yeah, there goes Lamar. He's out of there, and Derek, who has done this, we've seen. He has carried some teams in the playoffs. We saw him with Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
He ran the Wildcat. I mean, great job by Todd Monken.
Threw a touchdown in a playoff game one time against the Ravens.
He can do it all. I mean,
out of the Wildcat.
Yep, this is very tall task to stop a guy like him. See all the big people? Two tight ends, fullback in the game. Give it to Henry.
Here's Henry. And they may have stopped him.
Did they? They did for a second. Wow.
I don't know. It's going to be so close.
You got to get prepared right now if you're Buffalo for a 4th down. Get ready and get ready.
Get ready for Andrews, who's coming in off the sideline right now.
Here comes Andrews to take the tush push and send it and root hog underneath. Get lower than them and have Milano go over the top.
So they're able to stop Henry short, and it's going to be Andrews. And he's got it. That's the 2nd time in this game. He's done it now 8 times on short yardage situations, converted 7 of the 8.
We don't even care what part of the field they're on anymore. Do you know that? It's like Andrews, Josh Allen, the Eagles. When they send it out there, it's like it's automatic.
Right. Doesn't matter. We saw the first time they went to Andrews, they did it in the game. They were deep in their own territory, and it worked.
And give Harbaugh credit for coming up with that plan this year. That has helped them dramatically.
Justice Hill is the running back. Call on Hill. And he is smacked by Ed Oliver.
He's played a game today as well. He's been very active, disruptive. I know we haven't called his name a ton, but I've watched him disrupt a lot and send it back into other people. He is playing much bigger than his size. Great job shedding that block and coming back off of it, falling off.
2nd and 11.
Every play is huge, Jim. This just feels like an AFC Championship game.
Everyone's an important chapter. Fake to Henry. Jackson throws. Got a man wide open. It's Andrews. They dropped the ball, and it's recovered by Bernard. The 3rd turnover committed by the Ravens.
Do you want to know how huge it is to have Bernard and Milano back and Taron Johnson? You've seen Milano all game. Here's Bernard's turn.
Watch Bernard punch it out.
Oh!
Rest. And they have a chance now, giving it back to Josh Allen to try to go down and perhaps go up by 2 scores in the final 9 minutes. Throwing on 1st down. He's got a man open. It's Hollins. He's got a 1st down.
This is what makes them so difficult right here. 4 by 1. 1 receiver down here, all 4 up here. Well, then you're going to all run this way, Baltimore. And you see the busted coverage. Give Joe Brady credit. Nobody runs more 4 by 1s, we call it. 4 guys on one side of the center, 1 on the other. And he was aggressive right there on 1st down, Jim, which I've been saying is your best chance for success, and they're doing it.
I know you've been calling for it.
I just think you know what you can get.
1st and 10. They go to Davis. And Davis Has about 4. There is a penalty on the far side, pointing toward the Ravens side.
Illegal use of hands to the face, number 90. Defense, that 5-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Automatic first down.
Called on a Jabo.
Well, you'll see 90 right here. Hands to the face right there. And, you know, they teach you to set the edge with your inside shoulder, inside hand, and your inside foot. But they don't teach you to put the hand in the face mask. Everything else was perfect.
Gives him a first down, Tony, at the 34 with a half a quarter remaining.
Yes, that's tick, tick, tick.
Quick toss on the slant. Coleman. Good piece of tackling, by the way, by Tre'Davious White.
And that was a run called, and they could throw the slant if they wanted. Good decision.
You can watch this year's top NFL stars show off the best moves at the 2025 NFL Pro Bowl games presented by Verizon. Two-part event. Begins with the Skills Showdown Thursday, January 30th on ESPN. And then the AFC and NFC meet. Peyton and Eli are going to be on opposite sidelines again in the flag football finale Sunday, February 2nd on ESPN and ABC. 2nd and 5. Allen quickly now to Ty Johnson. He's got a first. The young man raised in the Baltimore area out of Cumberland and the University of Maryland has the first down for the Bills.
Well, they come down with the exact same formation, the exact same points by Josh Allen and Hollins out there, and they do it on purpose to make you feel like the same play's coming, like it's a handoff or a quick slant backside, and that's part of the game within the game, and they utilize that against him. Good design.
Ty Johnson grew up a Washington fan. He wears number 26 because Clinton Portis was his guy. Of course, Washington in the Final Four right now, in the NFC Final.
Josh, keep it this time? No.
And over to Samuel. Took him a while to catch it, pulled it down, and he's down at the 20. And there's a couple of players again mixing it up.
What a play by Hamilton right there. That was incredible. He is playing the safety position 12 yards away, and he makes a tackle at the line of scrimmage, if not behind.
Humphrey is shaken up, the first team All-Pro slot cornerback. And this is going down the field. It's Hollins, who he's always eager to mix it. 2nd and 9.
Well, it looks like Washington, the safety, is going to come down and play that nickel corner, that slot corner. That means you have to have a run fit. You've got to defend back here. You've got to have the quarterback on his runs. You've got to fit right down in here.
Going to run it. Cook wiggles, goes. 14-12 within a yard of the first, and it might be Josh Allen time.
That was a monster run. And watch right here. Shakir's going to block outside. And that block, you've got to go ahead and shed that. Keep the lane. And really, it's an outstanding job.
Hurry to the line, and they go with Josh Allen.
Ball game right there.
Josh Allen has the first down.
By ball game, I mean first down, not ball game.
That was Cook who actually, from behind, helped a Cook push.
That's why if you can get 2 chances at that, it's such a weapon. And you see you've got the 3 teams who use it more than most, right? Buffalo, Baltimore, Philadelphia, still in the playoffs.
They're all there, but I got to say, the play before that, the run by Cook, it didn't look like there was a whole lot there.
His patience.
He managed to pick up 8 yards out of it and set up the short yardage pickup.
We've never had a guy that Josh could depend on. He's always had to do it himself. It looks like we do now.
First and goal, it's Cook. Again, it's clogged up, but he's got 3.
And I said we've never had a guy for Lamar Jackson, and they've got Derrick Henry now. And the crazy thing is, we sit here and we go, all right, we got Lamar a guy, Derrick.
Timeout called by the Ravens here, Tone.
Smart, I like it. But now all of a sudden you said they scored 3 straight times, the Ravens.
Before that last series.
And then they got stopped on the fumble. But they didn't really get stopped if they would have protected the football.
They were moving the ball.
They were rolling. How important is the ball?
They've got to hold them here to a field goal to keep it a 1-score game. So the State Farm post-game show will be coming up right after the conclusion of this with the game recap. and a look ahead to the championship weekend that's coming up on the State Farm post-game show. Now, last week you were here, and sometimes you thought you'd like to see Josh Allen control it a little bit more from about this space, not go run.
Don't put it on him. Be like, all right, just hand off a normal one. This is where you come up with your 2-point plays. Whatever you have, your best stuff, it's right now. Don't just say 3rd and 8, go save us. Give him 2 cracks at it.
3rd and goal, 7 yards out. Here he goes, running with it. Josh Allen down to the 1-yard line. Now you got 2 plays from a yard out if you want to go with the quarterback, which he's already scored twice on the ground tonight.
Yep, and normally they get up quickly, but Baltimore's going to take a timeout here to stop the clock. To me, you got the maybe number 1 team in the league, or 1 or 2, that's stopping, having a chance of stopping the tush push. But if I'm Buffalo, I do it twice in a row. Do it on this one, most likely to score against any other team. This team may slow you down, possibly, rare. That's how far he wants to see how far away he is to do it.
They mark it a little bit, probably farther away than McDermott went down to see.
You're exactly right.
It's 2 yards out.
I'm still doing it twice.
Right?
I'm sending in Mariano Rivera right now and saying ball game. Send him in, and when I say ball game, touchdown. You're going to get a yard.
All set up by the punch and play by Bernard. And here you go. He's in the gun on 3rd and goal.
Wow, they're not going to do it, huh? Just going to hand it off or keep it?
He's going to keep it. Going to keep it, and he's going to get double team, triple team, as Washington and company had him high and low.
You saw him. He was about to pitch the ball back. I was like, don't do that, Lamar, Josh, anybody.
Here's the decision of the year. Do you kick the field goal and go up by 8?
They should have done the tush push on that one and got it to inches.
Or do you go for it? I mean, this is decision. If you remember the play where Allen ran it in from 27 yards out against Kansas City, that was on a 4th and 2. It's the same kind of thing.
To go up 2 scores?
To go up 2 scores. But here...
Timeout they're going to take to talk it over.
Wow, what a decision this is.
I just feel like right there, it's obvious to me.
2 tush pushes, you got to think, could produce 2 yards.
Better than shotgun from there because it gives me a chance as a linebacker to get into the mix there, and you can give numbers down there, and Baltimore is outstanding at launch back and pushing the pocket up front, especially in the run game.
It's really about 2.5 yards away now where they've spotted it. You know, you saw Dan Quinn, what a job he's done. How many times last night he rolled the dice and it worked. But if you're Sean McDermott, I know you're thinking about how you did it against Kansas City, and it led to victory. The kick again. If you kick it, I think
I'd kick
very
it.
Wise thing
If I was
here.
Inside,
yeah,
1.5, I might, but this is too far. Once you lost yards on that last play, I'm kicking it.
I mean, you go up 8 points. You gotta try to get it past where you lose. If you didn't convert here and you lose on a touchdown the other way.
They just stopped you on one of your go-to plays, right?
Yep.
Josh Allen keeping it.
So here's Bass.
Different team.
21 yards. And that kick is good. He drilled both field goal attempts tonight right down the middle. And 3:29 remaining. Baltimore has 1 timeout to play with, down 8. Will this game come down to a 2-point try to tie it? Who knows?
And one of the late verses there, destiny is calling me. We'll see if it is calling you, Buffalo, today. But I know Lamar Jackson's going to have something to say about it.
Here's Mitchell. Mitchell with a nice run out to the 33-yard line. Now, Lamar Jackson with one of the biggest drives of his still young career. Just his 7th year, 2-time MVP. Maybe he's already won the 3rd. We won't find out till NFL honors.
During the return, holding number 49 of the return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Just to make it a little harder on you.
Yep.
And he's well deserving of the MVP. I think what he's done this year is historic. You'll see the hold right there.
Holding Dorian Williams, which helped Mitchell get that extra yard out to the 35-yard line. But instead, they start at the 12. And again, they have 1 timeout. They start with Justice Hill in the backfield next to Jackson.
3 turnovers, 0 for Buffalo, and you still got a chance.
Here's Lamar back to the 2, going deep and over the head of Likely.
But you're going to see the corner route does a great job. This is a tight end against one of the best slot corners in the NFL, and he had a step on him. Ball's just overthrown. But
Taron Johnson, you see him favoring that shoulder as he was sliding. He is in pain.
They cannot
on the far sideline
afford him to be out. Oh, we hope he's okay. They're already down Rapp, as Tracy said, and now possibly Johnson.
Watch him here fall. Oh, to the arm stretched out on an awkward position. Look how his arm is. He's immediately trying to grab hold of it. And that rotor, they're checking him out. Cam Lewis is in. Jamarcus Ingram's also in. 2nd and 10.
That's his position right there. He's better back up a little. This is scary.
Bernard getting his defense reset. Here's Lamar from the pocket. Now flushed out. Now looking to take off. Here he goes. It's Von Miller who shoved him out, maybe a yard short of the first.
It's a great job by Lamar scanning the field. You know they're going to play zone when you lose your top inside corner. You're not going to play man again against Likely and all their talent in there. And right now, use your legs if things are covered.
It's got a 3rd and 2. With time, sidearm it, fling it. First down, Hill by a yard. Cam Lewis on the coverage as Taron Johnson remained out on that last play. Again, both these last 2 snaps, he's tried to take the field, and they brought him back to the sideline, so he stays out.
Man, you had to sacrifice your body. They have today.
1st and 10. And Oliver trying to break through. Here's a pass to Bateman. Brought down by Bernard at about the 26. Bateman now shaken up. Got hit by Russo. Already down, save Flowers, and you see Johnson ready to get back into action. He's been pouncing to get back in there the last couple of snaps. But watch Bateman.
It's a good move there, but you see
Russo coming over on him.
They've been huge on the edge today, setting the edge, corralling, keeping Lamar in the pocket, but throwing it underneath against this zone. They're going to make him take time and won't get aggressive till after midfield, Jim. No timeout will be taken. It's under 2 minutes. If someone goes down, then you automatically have to take it. So you can get on the ball here and get ready to go so no time comes off the clock.
As the snow, the lake effect snow, returns just in time to give this high drama a cinematic look at the finish.
So there's about 7, 8, 9, 10 seconds now. They could have snapped if they would have gotten up on the ball. Clock's still running.
Johnson is back in for the Bills defense. Coming after him again, running away from it. Throws on the run, and it's caught. Caught in stride and taken off down to the 46. That is Wallace with the catch.
What a play by Lamar Jackson. People bearing down on him. Here comes Milano, and he turns and throws back Jackson. Wow.
Winner to go to Kansas City next Sunday night for the AFC Championship and the Lamar Hunt Trophy.
It's amazing to think that next week's game is bigger than this, but it is. Kansas City go for a three-peat. They are unbelievable. Mahomes is in prime situation, and you got to get there first.
2 minutes to go here on 1st and 10. Lamar sidearms it to Hill at the last moment. And he's out of bounds near the 44.
That is the evolution of Lamar right there. It seems like a nothing play, but that could have easily tried to extend. There was nothing open downfield, and he stayed calm and poised within the pocket, reset it. 2nd and 6.
All set up by the play right before the 2-minute warning. The play to Wallace, who had not been targeted all game, but then caught one for 27. As Josh Allen can only watch.
I know we haven't said his name a lot, but Von Miller's been here many times.
2nd and 6. Backpedaling all kinds of time. And wide open, it's Andrews. Shoved out at about the 23.
But this is a great job continuing. It's cover 2, and Douglas comes out of coverage. He's in cover 2, and he decides to run across the field. You can't change direction on this field, Jim. If your momentum starts going one way, you're done. Good job by Andrews to extend the play.
They are still without Bateman, who was shaken up a couple of plays ago. That last one went for 19. Lamar's hit his last 5 passes. He's got a new set of downs. Again, he's getting all kinds of protection all day. Slides over to buy time, flings it down the field. It's caught for the touchdown. Isaiah Likely, and the Ravens are a 2-point try away from tying the game.
Well, this is where Lamar Jackson, we talked to him when he lost that game against Kansas City. They didn't rush him, kind of like there. He had patience, but it comes down to this now, Jim.
What are they going to call here? They had one other try earlier. They did not go with Henry. They wanted the pass play. They got deflected.
Well, they had a guy open. Milano tipped it down. Expect Buffalo to use that same spy, rush 3 guys. Milano comes off one side to take Lamar Jackson for the game.
Bateman is back in. The whole season essentially comes down to this play for these 2 great teams. Roll, flip it, got it. Oh, the ball was dropped. He had the 2-point conversion in his hands. Andrews did not hold on.
Oh my goodness. Oh, Baltimore. The drop by Henry earlier. Andrews had a drop as well earlier. And for the game to go possibly to overtime. And the conditions, the ball's just a little bit short. You got to catch that all day. But your foot slips, and Milano wasn't in on that play, actually. And guess what? He out-leveraged him. Buffalo wasn't prepared for that. What a play call.
It's shocking.
It's shocking. That's caught 999 out of 1,000.
Now their hopes, with only 1 timeout, their only hope is to recover an onside kick, which the conversion rate on that this season around the league is about 1 out of 20, about 5% of the time.
The only hope you have is that you have the greatest kicker of all time coming out, who's practiced this more than anybody maybe ever.
Just a reminder, after the game, the State Farm postgame show, JB will orchestrate. Crew will go back and look at all the key plays in the State Farm postgame show. And let's bring in Gene real quick, just a real quick.
Yeah, Jimmy, Baltimore has to declare. We see that they have declared. We're back to old school football now with an onside kick. And as you said, less than 5% or less this year. But here we go.
Of course, if you recover it, you win the game if you kick a field goal. If it leads to a field goal try. So here you go.
Well, we've had the 13-second heartbreaker for Buffalo. This would be equally, if not more.
Tucker on the slip field. Ball is recovered by Rasul Douglas.
That was not easy. This ball was bouncing perfectly where this could come up and hit you quick.
Again, rock hard field. It's slick.
Yes.
It's not easy.
No. And Buffalo looks to have possibly pulled the mini upset, even though I thought these teams were very close. We all did. What a game, Jim.
93 seconds to go. Ravens can only call one timeout.
It's not over yet. They're going to rush you here. That ball is still slick. It's not the best conditions.
No kneel down here.
Well,
off they go. That's Ty Johnson, and he wisely slides to a stop inbounds.
and they didn't kneel it down because there was more than 1 minute and 20, 22, 24 seconds, 132. You want to actually get those 10 seconds, 12 seconds off the clock, and Buffalo is going to do it and get the rematch they've been waiting for against the two-time defending champs who are waiting for them in Kansas City.
The divisional round blues for the boys in blue is about to come to an end after losing in this round at home to Cincinnati 2 years ago. Now, they came into the game as an underdog at home by just a fraction, but they had not been an underdog in their previous 42 home games.
We saw how that worked for teams going against Kansas City last year. They were the underdog throughout.
That's right.
You don't ever put these guys as underdogs at home. And the same thing in Lamar. My heart hurts for him right now. This Ravens team, both these teams deserved after the season to be in the AFC Championship. You can only have two teams.
You knew it was going to be wrenching to look at one side here after the star power and the seasons they had. One more snap, and then it's going to be for the fourth postseason meeting since 2020. It's going to be the Chiefs and the Bills. And immediately, Josh Allen goes straight for Lamar Jackson. He knew exactly where he was on that sideline, and a touch of class.
He's been there.
Certainly has.
It's devastating. Legacies are created in games like these, and now it becomes as big a legacy game as Allen has played in.
You think of the decisions that came down in the last minutes, the McDermott decision to